tell me a little bit about this little gem that I just was introduced to today.
Well, the closest we can figure out was built in 1914, and it was originally built as a rooming house. Back in the day, there was no highways. It had 2 lumber yards, a pool hall, a cafe, and yada yada yada. People would come in and get whatever they needed. They stayed over and then went back the next day.
Right? And they'd come from quite a ways away, I would imagine.
Well, define that back then, 20 miles is quite a ways.
Well, 20 miles by horseback, if
Yeah.
you're a lone rider, is 7 miles an hour. So, yeah, that's going to take you at least 3 hours to go 20 miles.
You're in a buckboard.
You're looking at 4, 5, 6,
Yeah.
depending on the terrain and if you have to cross a river or a creek or anything like that. So, yeah, back then it was very, very challenging. And why the hospitality industry? It doesn't sound like that was part of what you normally did.
Well, yeah, I went to SAIT, took a commercial cooking course. My brother-in-law had a couple hotels, and my brother was involved in one with them. And then heard about this and had no intentions of staying here this long. Just knew that different people said this area is going to boom for 4 or 5 years, which it did. I tell people, when you see those old Western shows, the Gold Rush and to me, that's what it was like back then. People couldn't spend their money fast enough. Jobs were, you'd get a couple paychecks in one place, go on a party for a week, because you knew you could go next door and get a job. The guys would come in from working and different, and anyways, they would, back then, lots of drinking, lots of driving. And we really had nothing to serve them for food other than microwave stuff. So, I'd hear him say, well, I got to get to Brooks, get supper before it closed, and what can I do to keep them here longer? So put an addition on there and put a steak pit in, which I had seen in High River, the Gateway Hotel, which is now gone. But that's where I first experienced cook your own.
And is that still really popular today?
Oh, that's the big draw card. Yeah.
Come in, cook your own steak, cook your own food, and enjoy a dinner, have a few beverages, a few laughs. Mm-hmm. So obviously the area grew on you, and the people in the area grew on you. And here we are today in this really sweet, quaint, old hotel that's almost 115 years old. 110 anyway, right? Mm-hmm. And it's still standing. That's kind of an impressive testament to the quality of the original building that was here.
Canadians, people in general, want to understand more about this nation, the nation of Canada, and what it took to build this country. And to be quite honest, the Métis people are foundation. They're a foundational piece of how Canada came to be. And there's some good and there's some bad in that history. And I think one thing I love about being Métis is we are fiercely proud Canadians. Here at Métis Crossing, it's a place where people can ask difficult questions, and it's a place to engage in that conversation. Instead of just having information provided to you, you can follow up and understand with personal experiences And that piece there is what makes Indigenous tourism most important, because you can have an opportunity to engage in those conversations.